Good morning. Welcome to the Fun Side of Business podcast. I am one of your hosts, Nick Hampton.
And I am the other Nick. I was going to say
You're
Nick
the other
Hampton.
Nick?
The other Nick Hampton. This is a great start. I'm Gemma Addison.
Are you really?
I'm sure
You're not
I
the other
am.
Nick Hampton. All right. Well, there we go. There's the intro done. So,
Great start. The Nick Show, apparently.
Yeah, apparently the Nick. So next time I'll be Gemma Anderson and
imagine
really
two
free
of
you.
you.
That would be
That's
the worst.
horrendous.
That would be the worst. Anyway, right. So today our guest. Are you going to do it, Gem? No. No. Again. No.
You do it.
What about other Nick?
No.
No. Okay.
You
Right.
go for it.
Today's guest. He is. The moment I give away his job title, everyone's going to know exactly who we've got here. But we're going to go with Felix Earl Walton's super businessman extraordinaire.
Oh,
At least we'll bring a little air of mystery to this
Okay.
beforehand. Someone who is a regular at our networking breakfasts, who is familiar to many, who is without doubt one of the most professional people in his field I've met from anyone else ever in their field, and the person that when you meet him wouldn't believe what he does.
That's what you do. Ever.
Until
I've
you
never
actually
seen.
see him in action. Without further ado, funeral director extraordinaire, David Bird.
Hello.
Welcome.
What an introduction.
Look at that.
There we go. Okay, so this is going to be the weirdest one I've done, only because we can start off and go, let's go back to your school years, but having been at the same school in the same form
Oh,
as
you both
David,
went to that really crap school, didn't you?
the good one.
The really bad
I love
one.
the way that you say crap school when you went to Stoke. And even David's laughing
David,
about
I
it.
don't know why you're laughing at that, David. Look how well I turned out. The laugh just got louder.
That's it. I love the way that you go crap school and we're like, well, hold on. We were in the Northgate, St Albans, Coppleston. That was our group. Your group was Westbourne, Nacton, Stoke and Chantry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know the problem right now.
Well, of course
I
you
don't know
don't.
the point you're trying
Of
to
course you
make.
don't, because you were on par with those other schools. Anyway, so David Button, let's go back to your school years. Coppleston.
Yes.
So you obviously went through school. Obviously. I don't know why it's obviously. You went through school.
Yeah.
You left sixth form. You left high school.
Mhm.
Where did you go from high school, David?
Well, just going back to the schools initially.
I
So
was hoping
This
we
is when
could
he's
pass
going to
over this.
confirm that Stoke's better than Coppleston.
when I was younger and
He's going
primary
to call
school,
me a scrote from school. Yeah.
Please.
I moved to 3 different primary schools. I was at 3 different primary schools. And I always think that had a huge bearing on, as we get talking, just how crap my teenage years and school life was. So, yeah, I went to Britannia. That was the last school, the feeder school being Coppleston. And Nick and I sat on the same table. Registration for 5 years.
Lucky you.
Unfortunately, I didn't recognise Nick in the business meetings. Oh, God, for months.
Oh, no, so can we just clarify that? So you guys both attend RSN Networking,
Yes.
both sat on the same table for 5 years at school,
Yes.
walked into the same networking breakfast,
Yes.
and didn't recognise each other.
Yes.
That's right, yeah.
Correct. That's
Yeah.
it.
Great school there, guys. Great school.
Hold on a second. I just want to hear the other one. So you did Britannia.
Yes.
What were your other 2 primaries?
Previous to that was St Helens.
Okay.
That says it all. And my first school was White House.
Okay. That probably
There's
says it
just
all.
silence
Yeah.
there, isn't there?
Did you go to one of them primary schools?
No.
Okay.
Britannia, yes.
Okay.
The feeder school to Coppleston, the good one.
Okay.
Yeah. Where did you go? Hillside.
No, I didn't actually. I went to Halifax, the posh one.
There's no such thing as a posh one that leads up to Stoke. The
Anyway,
one,
moving on.
hang on, the posh one, what, the one where you had shoes or something, was it? That was the sign of the posh school.
Right, David, on to you. All right, so you went to Cobblestone.
They didn't
Yes.
have carjacking classes at Halifax.
We just ignore Nick at this point. So, okay, so you finished Cobblestone?
Yes, so from Coppleston, what did I do? So I had an idea that I didn't want to continue an education. That just wasn't for me. I was unfortunately going through a horrid time at home, which I'll gladly talk about as we go
Okay.
on through the interview. I didn't really know what I wanted to do other than join the army, but the army wouldn't take me at first. So go and get life experience, go and get a job, come back and see us in X amount of years, months. So I
Would
had
they not take you because of the experience? Or
I think when you first
certain-
join in, they'll want
They
to
just
probably
want-
see how serious you are.
right, okay.
Back then, I thought my to be honest with myself. I thought it was quite difficult actually to get in. There was a number of interviews, aptitude tests. I'm sure it's all changed now.
Okay.
But that was my ultimate goal. So I had a number of jobs, be it construction, labouring, YTS, decorator. But that was my ultimate goal, and that was what I wanted to do. And I think I did that when I was 18.
Okay.
So 16 to 18 was like a little bit bumming around, doing some things to earn a few quid and
You can just get by.
go out in the world.
Yeah.
And then army at 18?
Yeah, I think I joined, I'm trying to think now. So it was 18 when I went to join. Probably by the time I did actually get there, I was 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what area of the army did you...
So I was in a local regiment called the Royal Anglians, 1st Battalion, and my ultimate goal, the whole reason I wanted to join the army was to serve in Northern Ireland. So back then, all the troubles were still going on. It was something that was always in the news. I've got family that come from that part of Belfast where, on the Protestant side, kind of really interested. It was just a strange time. You would often hear of things happening, be it in London, Manchester. Obviously, Warrington happened not long before we left school. It was just something I wanted to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bizarre want to be a part of it. Right?
Yes. I think it was the thriving on the action, maybe. I don't know what kind of idea I had, but I just wanted to be there, having seen the things that you see on the news, on documentaries, that and reading about it. That was what I wanted to do.
Okay. All right. So you've joined the army now at 19. So did you manage to get stationed like Northern Ireland?
Yes, I did, yes. So after all my training, one of the first places I went to, well, the place I went to was West Belfast, which was we were stationed in a Catholic area. And it was quite intense. It was what I expected. It was what I didn't expect was just how full on our days would be. So we are looking at 18, 19-hour days. That was quite intense. Yeah. And I did love it. And I look back now really with fond memories of everything that happened. And then there was a second time where there was a longer posting where it was in Londonderry. But by this time, the peace agreement had been signed. Things were still happening, but it wasn't as intense as what it was when we were in Belfast.
Okay. So how does that work in the army? Because I guess from an outsider's point of view, you have that belief of thinking you go and sign up for the army, you do your basic training, they just send you somewhere. But was it a case of, it was just a coincidence that where you wanted to go, you ended up, or was it, no, you had the chance to say, this is what I really want to do?
I suppose in a way it was a bit of luck, because when I joined the army, I wasn't to know that they were actually going to go out to Belfast. So that kind of fell for me, really, if I'm honest with you. It wasn't because they were going there that I decided to join there. It was just a bit of hit and hope, really, and it worked out just like that.
So I'm guessing, so how long did you do this, like, first post and second post for?
So the first posting was 6 months, but by the time I joined that, they were already there. So after my training, you go to your battalion and you get flown out. So I was joining them. They were already established there. So that was a 6-month tour. The second one was a 2-year tour, but by that time I had already put my notice in to leave at that time. But I ended up being 7 months out of the 2 years.
So I'm going to just go through this, and as you've said before, I can talk to you about anything you want to talk about. So you've gone from the point of going, I really want to join the army.
Yes.
This is where I want to go. You've joined the army, you've gone where you want to go, and then you decide it's not for you anymore.
Yeah, do you know what? I often look back at that and think that I had this ultimate goal, but I didn't really think that I was ever going to stay in the army long term. So I wanted to do the Northern Ireland thing. I did it, and it was like, right, I've done now. What's next in my life? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But unfortunately, you can't just leave.
It's not like that one of going, here's a week's notice.
Yeah, if only. Oh, God, did I try? No, I think long term, when I look back now, part of me regrets not putting probably more thought into it, but it just wasn't for me in the long term. It wasn't something.
But then at least you've itched that scratch, right?
Absolutely, yeah, because I needed to do that. I wanted to do it. And then it was just a case of getting on with other things in life. Yeah.
Do you think that it had, a really positive impact on your life? Because I know a lot of people, some people can join the army and come out with, a PTSD and all kinds of problems. And other people can go, look, I went in as a bit of a scrote and came out with discipline, with order, with direction in my life. Which one do you most
I probably went in as a bit of a scrote and came out as a bit of a scrote as well.
Well, if you'd have stayed longer, you probably could have had to fix that bit as well. But yeah, okay.
I think looking back again, don't really appreciate it at the time, just what certain skills are there for you, what's instilled in you, like later in life, like, so I'm 48 now, and then just thinking, it's the polished shoes, it's just being the tidiness, it's things on hangers, it's things like ironing, it's those kind of things. Someone even said to me once before, when I sent out a letter, we do still send letters, believe it or not, put a stamp on and it just has to be absolutely correct. You can't just slap it on and somebody had noticed it and all the writings really regimentally formed and lined. Those little things are probably going to be there forever, but it's something that someone else has noticed rather than me. And Joanna, who I work with in the office, has often said when I walk from my desk to the kitchen or wherever, it looks like I'm marching. Yes, without me even realising.
I'm going to look out for that now.
Yeah, I know, you look out for it and I'm marching to breakfast.
I'm like, left, right, left.
Halt!
Okay, so you've managed to wangle your way out of the army, however you wangled your way out. What was the next thing for David at that point?
Oh, Christ, I had a number of jobs. Do you know what? I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but what I did know is what I didn't want to be in the army, if that makes sense. So I bounced from one job to another, to another, to another, and it got me down. It really did depress me. What I thought I might do didn't turn out what I wanted it to do. So I had a number of jobs.
One of the highlights and lowlights of that spell.
So the highlights, believe it or not, as a postman for Royal Mail. Absolutely loved it.
I imagine you as a postman.
I loved it. I wanted to do that as well.
Is it because he delivers?
He delivers. I like it. I like it. Do you know what? I loved that job. I really did. It wasn't really well paid. I was like getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, but by 10:30 I was done. I was finished. Yeah. For a while, that really did suit me, but it's only later on in life do I realise certain things traits of me, things fall into place, which I'll come on to later. But I left that job of my own accord, and I do regret that. Not to say that I'd still be there now, but it's obviously the day I walked out of that job, I found out I was going to be a father, and my life just completely changed.
Day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at least tell me the meeting had happened like to the point of going, I'm out, and now I found out. Not you found out and then you had to try and go into a.
Do you know? I'll be honest with you. The management there at the time got me down so much, and you just think, how am I allowed to swear here?
Yeah.
How could you be such a twat? Yeah. I've got to work with you, and it just got me down. And I thought, one day, fuck it, I'm leaving. Get home, and later that day I find out that my other half, she's pregnant. But there was no...
Congratulations for that moment.
Yeah.
The second half of the day.
Yes. I mean, I went...
Yeah, but maybe it was a double jackpot. Get away from the twats and find out that you're going to be a dad. It's like win-win.
Yes, you would think so. Looking back now, yes, it was. At the time, though, crikey, my life was all over the place. Yeah.
So had you left Royal Mail because you had something else to go to, or you just left Royal Mail because you had enough of it?
I'd had enough of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got a baby pending and no job.
Yeah. And no job, absolutely no money. So I've been with my other half now, Heidi, since the age of 21. So I met her when I was on leave from the army. I'd just come back from Kenya, and I met.
Only mentioned Ireland. Oh yeah. When I came back from Kenya,
6 weeks exercise.
Just that little bit.
Hold on, we got Belfast and London. We didn't get mentioned of these like
Yes. So Kenya was a 6 weeks exercise out there, and I think particularly the part that I was in, we ended up doing 6 days work in 6 weeks. We were the only ones coming back with a suntan. I don't know how we winged it, but we did. Met my other half, Heidi, and it just gone on from there.
Not in Kenya.
No,
okay,
definitely in Ipswich. In Ipswich, yeah. And obviously we're still together now, but the thing is, I have to be honest with you, if she ever listens to this...
we're sending it to her.
She will.
She will listen to this.
When? We're literally going to take the recording
yes,
when we get back.
We know where she works. So
there's no getting away from that, is there? But she has stuck with me through thick and thin, and there's been so many times when I just did not have a clue what I was going to do in my life, where it was going, and often there would be times when she would be the breadwinner. And for a while I was a stay-at-home parent, and it was bloody hard. one of the hardest things I've ever done. It's nothing like feeding a baby and then 2 minutes later they want feeding again, or changing one dirty nappy and doing it again and again. I'm not saying that was all my life doing that, but it was hard work. And then trying to get a baby to sleep, it was just...
It's harder than you think.
Oh, crikey, yeah, it was. But that particular time in my life, that was how my life was.
You've got the headline for this episode now, right? Nappies and vomit.
With
Nappies, funerals, nappies and vomit. Yeah, done. Okay, so stay-at-home dad.
Yep.
And then what was the kind of the point which started you on your path to where you are now?
Believe it or not, I rejoined the army again.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I'm at this. I spent long enough trying to get out. I'm out. Right.
Oh,
what
Jesus.
Can I get back in again?
I'll tell you what, I never thought I'd be...
I wasn't expecting that.
No, I would never... Honestly, there are so many people that would go down that road, and I never thought I'd be one of them. But what I did do was join on what was known as a short-term engagement, where I could only serve a year, which I did. That just helped me focus. It got me back on the straight and narrow.
I guess it also helps to get back some routine that you feel
Absolutely.
like you've lost.
Yes. There was exactly that. There was everything from the structure of the working life to the regular wage to getting back to fitness as well. Just going back one step before that, there was a job that I had got, and I had got my HGV license, Class 1, and that was probably the worst job I have ever had in my life. Yep.
Do you know, when we had Jake on here, he just wanted to go, I just want to get a truck driver's license and go drive trucks. That's all he wants to do. Have you ever done it yet? No. Now at least he can listen and go, I don't want to do it now.
I'm sure it is for some people, but that just was not for me, and that probably nearly sent me over the edge. I've obviously still got the license. There's certain criteria you have to do just to be able to drive now, like a CPC. But I would never want to sit behind the wheel of a truck ever again.
I think that takes a certain kind of...
So it was that point when I'm stuck down at Felixstowe Docks thinking, I'm going to join the army again. And
yeah, but I suppose at least the second time round, it's not while you're in the army and going, oh, I hate this. If I did this, it'd be so much better. And then you've gone and had all these different things and gone, no, it really isn't. At least you can then see now at least the second time in, you know what the rest of the world's like and realise that the rest of the world is not all roses and
that's right.
Sunshine and rainbows, which means you can go into the army with your eyes open.
Yeah. With a little bit more experience now.
Yeah, that's right. And that year, that did work for me. I wasn't just there. I could have done a lot longer than a year, but the year is what I had in mind. And believe it or not, another part of me, what I wanted to do was be a bus driver. So when I talk about all the different jobs I've had...
Hang on, ready? Got an HGV one. Yeah. Don't want to do it. I was going to be a bus driver
I'm going to drive a bus.
So I worked for Ipswich buses for about 4 years.
I've known you for so long, I never knew this.
And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yeah. But there comes a point...
So I'm guessing the difference, right? When you go like HGV and bus driver, I'm guessing the difference is the people.
Oh,
like when you're driving an HGV, you're there on your own.
It's quite
16, 18 hours and you're alone with your thoughts.
Quite lonely,
But as a bus driver, you
are always chasing time. You're never thinking, oh God, I wish the day would go quicker. You're always chasing time, and working with the public is quite an art.
Yeah.
Quite an art form.
I would say you saw a nice cross section of the public.
Depends whereabouts in town you went to.
I was just going to ask what bus route you have. I'd rather go down
that second, road. Let's try this. The 15.
Yes, Stoke Park.
The 15 Stoke Park and Maidenhall, right?
If you can
guess what? I had enough years of my life being on buses. I can tell you which one it was.
The 15 was a good route. Okay.
Yeah, there's worse than that out there.
I took it every day as a kid.
The 3? Was the 3 worse?
No, the 3 was okay. I probably
was the 3 Rushmore. Which one was it? The
3 was more at the time. Number 3 was Landseer Road. That obviously had its issues at times, but
it's quite a chase slightly now.
I'd probably say where I grew up initially, where I first went to school, number 8, White House.
Yeah.
Fucking awful.
And hang on, and the 9 was Norwich Road as well, was it?
Yes, of course. Whitton. Yeah, they sort of go hand in hand, really.
I haven't been on buses for 30 years.
I can't imagine you on a bus.
I'm impressed.
At school, at the school, I was like bus all the time. I could bus everywhere.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I can probably. I mean, the scary thing is, I can almost go through every bus number.
I'm impressed.
We'll have that challenge next time.
They've got the names of the buses now. Have you not seen? They're like Like, it
I
says
don't
like...
care about political correctness that Tonya goes to, Tonya goes to Warren.
You're talking about the names on the front of the buses.
Yeah.
Yes, I think they've always had them.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Eddie Stobart did it first, and then they just copied.
Oh, yeah, just copied, yeah.
Maybe we scraped ours off.
And it's Ipswich, they're all called John.
Yeah, well, I haven't had one named after me yet.
Except if it was Stoke, and it'd be called Knife, but no, okay, right. Yeah. Anyway, so so you were a bus driver for 4 years and loved being a bus driver.
I did, yeah. Yeah, there was an element of enjoyment for that. That was shift work. It was quite difficult in trying to get that routine of still trying to keep healthy, looking after yourself. But yeah, I majority of the time I enjoyed my time there. Yeah.
Okay. So what made you not want to be a bus driver anymore?
Oh, God. So this is where life starts to change for me quite drastically. And this is where it gets a little bit depressing. So sorry to anybody listening.
This is real.
Guess what?
This is about
we
people.
Also knew that David, the funeral director, was coming on. If there's supposed to all be like laughs and what have you, there has to be a somber mood at some point. Yeah. And it feels like a good transition.
Yeah. So back in, I think this would have been 2008. My dad, who I must admit I didn't have a relationship with, certainly in adulthood, he took his own life. And there was a lot of skeletons, pardon the pun, that came out, and there was a lot of family dynamics that were not good. Now, many years ago, he used to work for Ipswich Buses, and I remember that, and there were so many things playing on my mind, and I was thinking about all the places that he would have travelled, he would have gone to, where he used to meet us as children, and I allowed myself to get really down about that, and I spiralled into a huge, massive depression, and I decided to leave. Just for my sanity more than anything else. By that time, I think I'd had enough. But what I didn't anticipate was just how bad things were going to get after I'd left. Mm-hmm. And that was how, from after that I got into the funeral industry, which was by sheer chance, sheer luck. And believe it or not, despite the work that we do, is the one thing that really keeps me going now.
That's amazing.
So this was, you now took a job at another funeral director?
So I...
Did you take some time out?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Okay.
So I was out of work for a while, again, self-inflicted. And what I found really quite annoying about myself was that I'd allowed myself to get back into that situation again.
Yeah.
But this time it was a lot worse. I was very suicidal, and I had particular moments where I did go to take my life. I was probably the lowest you could get. I was under the crisis team. I was placed on antidepressants. I was one step away. I find it a little bit embarrassing to mention this, but I was one step away from being sectioned for my own safety.
There's nothing embarrassing about that, David.
But it's horrible. But to think about it now, and it was a very, very difficult time. So Heidi, my other half, she clearly and obviously and understandably didn't really know how to deal with this. So for a number of weeks, months, I had the crisis team come to see me a couple of times a week. And I didn't have to, but they encouraged me to sign on. So there I was at that particular age. I can't remember how old I was at that time, signing on. I think this is a major low point. I made sure that I've got myself out of these ruts, and here I am, worse than ever. And it was by sheer chance that my mother-in-law worked for a funeral directors in Ipswich, and they were looking for part-time casual staff. Okay. And it all went on from there. So literally, when you say starting from the bottom, that's what I did.
That's what you've done, yeah.
So part-time casual drivers, pallbearers, called as and when, from the very first moment of that very first funeral that I helped on, I loved it and thought this feeling is
that was going to be
unreal.
My first question, because imagine having that first job at a funeral director's, seeing your first ever funeral. I guess at that point you're going to know if this is for you or not.
Yeah, I think so.
Because that's a lot.
But I didn't know what to expect, but it was the feeling of, I'd like to do more of this. This, believe it or not, this is really quite rewarding. People were coming to talk to you, unlike maybe getting on the buses, and they were happy to see you, whereas there was a lot of negativity when people get on the bus.
Yeah.
And there was, at the time, the company that I was working for, Dignity, had what is known as the coroner's tender. So that means any sudden deaths, any deaths that are, as in accidents, murders, you name it, you had to attend. So I put myself forward for that. there was obviously more money involved in that, and that was obviously the bigger picture. But the fact of what I saw there has helped me be the better funeral director to what I am today. So I've gone to see absolutely everything from suicides, car accidents, people that have sadly been killed in fires. There is only one thing that I haven't attended, and that was what they called Network Rail, which was where somebody had taken their life on the railway lines. That's the only thing that I've never seen. Everything else I've seen and been part of.
David, I'm going to ask a difficult question, but this is what we're here to do, to kind of round out, to kind of get the whole picture. Do you think that doing that job helped you with where your mindset was at the time?
Oh God, yeah.
Because ultimately, and I think when people have dark days and they have that thought of, they want to end it and whatever, when you then get to see it for real and see it up close, surely it gives you a way to be able to process and to see it.
So when you are attending these situations, you are, apart from obviously the police officers, maybe firemen, paramedics, you are seeing people's raw emotions. So when they come to arrange a funeral, they may well have had a few days, maybe a week or so, to try and process just a part of all that. So when sadly somebody has hung themselves and you're helping somebody and holding them and actually literally cutting down that rope or that belt that they've used, you do sort of take that in and think, this is the impact of what could have happened.
You see how that affects the family members.
Yes. And I would say that not always, but the majority of times it is males that do take their life. And I've attended several where you think that people have got everything in place. They've got a nice house, they've got the car, everything else. And it doesn't make any difference from what sort of life you've got, be it that life where you are struggling financially to where in other people's eyes you've got everything. I've seen the whole broad range of it. And also the side where people have been going about their own daily lives and passed away with a heart attack, and 1 minute they're there, next minute they're not. And again, that makes you think that these people haven't reached retirement age. Some of them are younger than what I am, and that impacts as well. And that makes you think as well just how, without getting too deep, but how fragile life really is. And though I don't go around thinking the worst than this could happen to me, that could happen to me, it does make you think. And sometimes you do need that little bit of bringing back down to earth sometimes. And that for me is how it works for me.
But
sorry, go on.
I'm guessing that, you almost get to know death.
Yeah.
In a really bizarre way.
Yeah. You're right.
But I'm guessing, people only really know death when they
encounter
die
it,
or to really understand it.
So a lot of the families that we see now could well be the very first time that they're arranging a funeral. So what we don't want to be seeing, and never would be, is that we're desanitized to it, that we're so used to it that it's the norm for us. So we're very understanding of the fact that this is somebody who has never arranged a funeral and somebody who never lost a close relative. It might well be a husband, it might well be the mother, it might be a brother or sister. But I do think from my personal experiences and what I've gone through throughout my life and the things that I've seen where you've attended such things makes me the better person for the work I do now. It's a huge, huge part of it.
So at what point did you leave the company and then start David Button Funerals? What was the light bulb moment? I can go and do this myself.
So I was based in Ipswich, and then I transferred to Cambridge, and I learned. So I was commuting from Ipswich to Cambridge for about 3 years. I learned so much in that time, every aspect of the funeral service. So everything from bringing somebody into care to washing, dressing them, to the administrative side, everything. I then started to put myself through my qualifications, and it was with a company that are based in North Suffolk, South Norfolk. And it was the tutor of mine at the time who is the owner of that particular company. And I had the opportunity to work for them. So in that year I was there, first couple of weeks was great. I actually hated it. I was driving along the A140 thinking it sounds really horrible to say, but how I just want to have that lorry coming towards me and just crash into me. I absolutely hated it. And I thought I've left what I thought was, it wasn't well paid in Cambridge, but it worked. And realising that there was a particular event that this company that I was working for in Norfolk, that they had, which was hiring in, I think it was a place in Attleborough, and they hired in horse-drawn carriages. It was like a Look at Us day, and people had the opportunity to speak to a funeral director. And speaking to these people, they also had a hearse that they hired out. So it got me thinking, well, if you could hire the hearse out, you can hire the horse-drawn hearses, which I obviously knew about. And it just got me thinking. It got me looking into things, and I started squaring away money, and I didn't realise just how much I actually needed, but I was putting away as much as I possibly could in the hope that I would be able to set up on my own. As it was, I was actually laid off from that job, and for a year I went back to just helping out other funeral directors. Believe it or not, I didn't actually spiral into any kind of deep fear, deep depression. I was okay. I had my goal set. I knew where I wanted to be. I had this focus, and for a year, probably more 18 months, because I helped out other funeral directors for a year. It wasn't great money, but I got by. Made more contacts, and I found the place that I wanted where I set up now. Mind you, I'd looked at around 30 odd different places, but the planning permission that I needed took 6 months to get through with the council. So I was always focused from that point. And working for other funeral directors, you, like with any company, you see the good and the bad. So you know exactly what you should do. You know not to cut corners. You know what you've got to do to be good. But also, you know not what to do. But also, you've got your own way of doing things as well. And 10 years down the line, this is the
10 years.
Yeah, so this is the longest time I've ever been in any particular job role.
Wow.
10 years, yeah.
Well, I was thinking that when you said it, because when you've had a gap between employments previously, you've had a wobble, like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. That time you were very focused on, no, I actually, this is the industry I want. And that speaks volumes. That it says a lot.
Yes. Had that, I don't know, I think it was always going to be the case where the planning permission was going to get granted. But with working with councils, I knew that it's just not quick.
Yeah.
And since working with councils, anybody else listening that works with the council, I'm sure you'll understand, they don't move quick. They move at one pace, and it's their pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that was then the creation, the formation, how long did it take you to come up with the name?
I sat long and hard and thought about that for a long time. Yeah. See, the good thing is that, mind you, I actually did think about calling myself something completely different and having a company name rather than my name. But speaking to others, it was, and it is a good idea to have your own name, because you are the business, aren't you?
You are you, yeah.
It's, nobody comes in to speak to, I'll tell you what I was going to call it, and it was from travelling along the A140, there was a house with a big sign called Oaklands, and I don't know why I thought, I could call myself Oaklands, but people want to come in to see David, don't they? They don't want to come in to see...
Oakland sounds like a nursing home.
Oaklands, yeah, it probably does. When you sit...
There's a car sale, there's a garage that does car sales.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
So yeah, probably a good idea to avoid that one.
I don't think I've ever told anybody that before, actually. So that's
just told millions.
I've come in for a second-hand Fiesta. You're wrong. Sorry about.
You've now told millions of people. Yeah. You like that, millions?
Yeah, millions.
That's how many people are listening.
I like
right
that.
Now.
I like that. Yeah, around the world. Yeah, I like it.
So yeah, and then obviously you've gone through, and
So probably in the last 10 years, I've learned more about myself than ever before. So I've always thought you get to a particular point in life, or you look at people, especially when you're younger, and you would think they know this stuff, they've got themselves sorted. But Jesus, I tell you what, I've learned so much about myself that there's a lot of things that happened in my life where things hadn't been processed. So I now have counselling on a regular basis, and I probably will have that for the foreseeable future. That has been, no word of a lie, probably a lifesaver, because I suffer with deep depression. It's not something I really talk about, but I am on the medication, and I have to have I feel I have to have this counselling just to keep on that straight and narrow. So trying to juggle a business where the people are coming to me and them talking about their trauma, I've got no issue with. I like helping people. But what I struggle with is my own mind. So people coming to me with their worries, their upset, plays no part in how I feel.
Yeah.
So I feel that, believe it or not, as I said earlier, that keeps me on the straight path. Keeps me going.
Yeah.
And it is, though it's a bit of a cliche, it is quite rewarding, and that keeps me going. So if I didn't do this, I honestly don't think I'd be here. And that sounds quite dramatic, but I wouldn't want to do anything else.
Oh, no, yes, that's definitely, it looks like and sounds like you found your calling.
Yeah, it took
We've known you for a while now, and you can just, you love what you do.
I do. It's bloody hard work, but it's not easy. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but we have done far better than what I ever thought we would do.
Oh,
and
10 years is huge.
I know, and the numbers that we do for funerals now are way above what I ever thought. So I think in the first 6 weeks of opening, I must have changed my business plan twice, I think. And I'd written it all down, thought, oh, this is good, this is all right. That went out the window. And it was always just a case of evolving. So I always get a little bit embarrassed about talking about this, but I am in the process of trying to establish if I have ADHD. And a lot of things would fall into place as to why I was and how I have been over the years.
Yeah.
I've looked into it. I always thought it was something that was just people that are a bit of a pain in the backside and did dismiss it. And I think these things are more out there now than ever before.
The resources are there now, aren't they? So
they are, and you're able to talk about it to the right people. But looking back to when I was at school, I was a pain in the backside. I used to thrive on getting into trouble. I used to just love the buzz of pushing those boundaries. And that could be the same for just saying, oh, fuck it, I'm leaving this job. That's it. And just having this bit of a cavalier attitude. But at the same time, that's been a huge downfall of mine as well. And I also learn as well that I don't know if you can actually be partially, but a dyslexic as well.
Oh, wow.
And kind of, again, so many other things fall into place where I would often get Tuesdays and Thursdays muddled up, Septembers and Octobers. It's just little things like that. And it's been a little bit of a revelation, really. And I could see something 20 times, read it, it'll be wrong. Following day, look at it, and it's so obvious. I will say this: there have been times when I put a newspaper notice in the paper and got the wrong date, and it's cost me because I've had to amend that. But it's things like that, and at first you think it's just because you're overworked, you're under pressure, but there are certain things that.
Drawing on what you said earlier on, like you all look at people, don't you, and think, oh, they've got their shit together. That's how it should be.
Yes.
They've got their business running right. They've got the great family, the car, whatever you're looking at. No one knows what's going on for someone to keep afloat.
No.
So the fact that you've been going for 10 years, you're running an amazing business. We know people that have loved you. We know people that have used you. It's huge. So well done. Like, it's incredible. So well done.
It is a huge achievement. And I don't probably give myself enough credit for this. And I am never one of these people that gives myself a pat on the back. Thinking, oh, great, David's brilliant and that. But 10 years, secretly, when I got to that 10-year point, I thought, fucking well done.
Good.
Yeah. And it's a huge achievement. My biggest fear is that one day you're just going to have absolutely nothing. I do worry about that all falling. And there had been times when I used to have dreams and, dare I say, nightmares about it, that I'm just going to lose everything. So I'm quite shrewd. I'd like to think I've got a decent accountant.
Yeah.
You know?
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
In that way, it was like a bit uncertain. I like to think. Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, yeah.
I dare say I'm probably very cautious about saying, yeah, I'm going to be all right for the rest of my life. You just don't know.
No,
But I've also, thankfully, got a good little team around me. And one of those people who I work with is like my right-hand lady. And she's been with me now for 7 years.
We know who you mean, and she's amazing.
Yes. Without her, I would be lost.
It's Joanna.
It's Joanna, yes. Let's say her name.
This is Joanna. Yeah. She deserves the shout-out.
Mm-hmm.
Because she'll definitely be listening as well.
Obviously.
I'll make sure she does, yeah. Yeah, we'll make sure she does, yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna just wrap this off.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna cap this off because there's not many times where we have guests in where I'm gonna go and explain why I call David the consummate professional to what he does.
Mm-hmm.
So recently I lost my grandfather. David knows, he's nodding because, you know, he was the one who I called.
Yeah.
And my nan was probably one of the most awkward people that David may ever come across. Bless my nan.
He's just laughing. He's just...
I mean, how difficult can it be? He comes in, right? We've got my nan going and talking to David about my granddad being in the army. David then goes, oh, look, let me relate to this and go and tell her everything. And within 2 minutes of this point, Nan's left the room. My cousin's come in and said, can you leave now? Yeah, there we go. Now organise a funeral. Just get that done in 2 minutes. But, you know, David took it, he went with it and what have you. Nan wanted everything done, quick, done, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Bizarre. 70 years of marriage, by the way. And it's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And the reason that I will go and say this is because, you know, a few things changed and tweaked and what have you. And in the end, you know, despite no one supposed to be there, me and my mum were there and we hid. Now, we didn't intentionally hide, but we were hidden. And the reason that I say this is because if ever there was a point for someone to be able to cut a corner, it was that funeral. Because it was supposed to be unattended, a cremation, no big fuss, no big service. But as the hearse pulled up, David got out of the car, escorted the car towards the gate, escorted the coffin, and showed, you know, a coffin and a dead body such utter respect without knowing anyone was there.
So yeah, it doesn't matter if it's...
It didn't matter whether there's you know,
you're right.
Go and perform where there's 50 people, 100 people, and family and friends and what have you there. He did this on the basis that it was him and the coffin, and he did it anyway. And it wasn't until we then appeared around the corner he knew we were there. So David is the ultimate consummate professional of anyone I've ever met.
Well, to me,
story,
it shows you're not doing it for show. You're not doing it so people are like, oh, we need to book this guy in future.
Yeah.
You have the same respect for that person in that coffin, no matter...
Absolutely. What scale of service funeral that they're going to have. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a huge compliment.
Yes,
and
it is. Yes.
That was the way I wanted tail off to go. Finally, on behalf of us for coming and on behalf of my granddad, David, thank you
that's
for being
a nice
here.
way to end the show.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, David. That's amazing. Thank you so much.